Okay. Lesson 47, Book 2, Stage 3. Okay. Shan't, won't, grammatically. Shan't, won't, grammatically. The contraction of I shall not is I shan't. The contraction of you will not is you won't. Okay, the contraction of I shall not is I shan't. The contraction of you will not is you won't. Now, what's the contraction of I shall not? What's the contraction of I shall not?
The contraction of I shall not is I shan't.
And what's the contraction of you will not? What's the contraction of you will not?
The contraction of you will not is you won't.
What's the contraction of he will not, she will not, etc.? What's the contraction of he will not, she will not, etc.? The contraction of he will not and she will not is she won't.
She won't, he won't.
Okay. She won't, he won't, etc.
Etc.
Okay. Shall I go home in 2 minutes' time? Shall I go home in 2 minutes' time? No, you won't,
go home in 2 minutes' time.
But you'll remain
here.
Yes. Will you be here in 100 years' time? Will you be here in 100 years' time? No, I shan't be here in 100 years' time. Now, will he remain here after the lesson? Will he remain here after the lesson?
No, he won't remain here after the lesson.
But he'll go home. Yes. Okay. And shall we live for 1,000 years? Shall we live for 1,000 years? No, we shan't. We shan't live for 1,000 years. Okay. Will they agree to give you all the money they have in their pockets if you ask them? Okay, will they agree to give you all the money they have in their pockets if you ask them?
No, they won't agree to give me all the money they have in their pockets if I ask them.
Good. Now, grammatically, we say I shall, you will, he will, we shall, etc. But people generally prefer to use will for all persons. Okay? Grammatically, we say I shall, you will, he will, we shall, etc. But people generally prefer to use will for all persons and say I will, you will, he will, we will, etc. And say I will, you will, he will, she will, we will, etc. Now, we can nearly always use will instead of shall. We can nearly always use will instead of shall. But we cannot use it in the first person interrogative. Okay. But we can nearly always use will instead of shall, but we cannot use it in the first person interrogative. We cannot say will I or will we. We must say shall I or shall we. We cannot say will I or will we. We must say shall I or shall we. We can say will you, will he, etc. We can say will you, will he, etc. Okay? Grammatically, we say I shall, you will, he will, we shall, etc. But what do people generally prefer to use for all persons? Grammatically, we say I shall, you will, he will, we shall, etc. But what do people generally prefer to use for all persons? People generally prefer to use will for all persons. Okay, we can nearly always use will instead of shall. But when must we use shall? Okay, we can nearly always use will instead of shall. But when must we use shall? We must use shall in the first person interrogative. Okay, we cannot say will I or will we. We must say shall I or shall we. Okay.
Okay. We cannot say
will I or will we. We must say shall I or shall we. Okay. Offer company. Offer company. When people are smoking, in company, what do they do with their cigarettes? When people are smoking in company, what do they do with their cigarettes? When people are smoking in company, they offer their cigarettes round. Now, if I offer you £1 million, will you take it? If I offer you £1 million, will you take it?
Yes.
Yes. If you offer
me
£1 million, I'll take
it.
Okay. Students, read lesson 41 on page 229. Okay. Suggest fruit, exercise, alcohol. Suggest fruit, exercise, alcohol. Where do you suggest I go for my holiday next year? Where do you suggest I go for my holiday next year? I suggest you go to
Cartagena.
Okay, for your holiday.
For your holiday.
Next year.
Next year.
Okay, will do. Tomorrow I shall buy a shirt. Okay, what color do you suggest I buy? Tomorrow I shall buy a shirt. What color do you suggest I buy? I suggest you buy
a red
shirt.
Red shirt.
Okay. What do you suggest I do for my health? Okay, what do you suggest I do for my health?
I suggest you go to the doctor.
Okay, or I suggest you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables.
You eat the fruit and vegetables, go
to bed early.
Go to bed early, make some exercises.
Yeah, exercise your body, etc., etc.
Drink a lot of water, etc.
Okay, perfect. Do you do all these things? Do you do all these things?
Yes, I do all these things.
Perfect. Now tonight, what time will you go to bed tonight? What time will you go to bed tonight? I'll go to bed tonight
at 11 o'clock p.m.
Okay. And what will you do before going to bed tonight? What will you do before going to bed tonight? I'll watch TV.
I'll watch TV in my bedroom before I go to bed.
Okay. I'm tired. Okay. Tired. Are you tired at the moment? Are you tired at the moment?
No, I'm not tired at the moment.
Okay. What do you do when you feel tired? What do you do when you feel tired?
When I feel tired, I go to bed.
And are you tired of studying? Are you tired of studying?
No, I'm not tired of studying.
Okay. Now turn. Okay. Turn. What am I doing? What am I doing?
You're turning around.
Okay. If you turn around, what will you see? If you turn around, what will you see?
If I turn around, I'll see the wall.
The wall. The wall. And can you turn? Okay. Can you turn completely round without standing up? Can you turn completely round without standing up? No, I can't turn completely round without standing up. Okay. End of lesson 47, page 2, stage 3.